Do you know the feeling when your own words come back to bite you?
I want to see the dominant Barcelona. I want to see the Barcelona that wreaks havoc and fear in the opponent's team from the first half itself.
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling that I'm feeling right now. Where to start with this match? That's the point. We didn't get to start the match at all. Not until the second half at least. Again, the same case. Every match we don't get up or we don't wake up until the second half. And when we get to face a good opponent like this Diego Simeone Atletico de Madrid, what happens? This. A one-sided bashing, a one-sided slap, a one-sided slap fest, a one-sided humping fest. That was what this match was. A 4-0 thumping at its best. Where should we start? Should we start from bashing our players? We will, but let's come on to that a little later. First, let's start with the tactical decision that our manager took. Diego Simeone's team is not like the other La Liga team that we are used to, that don't press too high or like to be conservative against teams like us who are attack heavy, who are dominantly attacking. They like to conserve themselves because frankly not a lot of team in La Liga or Copa del Rey has the luxury to say that we have relentlessly pressing machines. We have players who are fast, who are capable of delivering some pinpoint diagonal passes, who can run the whole match in full speed. Not a lot of team has that luxury. Not a lot of team has the luxury of that kind of players. But Atletico Madrid does. They have the son of Mr. Simeone himself. They have Antoine Griezmann. They have Julian Alvarez, who a player who has been out of form for so many matches, decides to come back in this match only. They have Antoine Griezmann, who is floating like butterfly and stings like a bee. He stung like a bee to us. And against a pressing machine team like that, why would you decide to go with players like Casado, who are a little underconfident on the ball, although knowing that you don't have Pedri in the team, you don't have Rafinha in the team, people who are good on the ball. Rafinha can be used on the counter attack while keeping the ball as well. He is very versatile. Or neither do you have Rashford, who can hold the ball on the other side, on the left wing as well, like Lamine Yamal. But the problem is not there. The problem is you decided to build from your back. Okay, that is our traditional style. We build from our back against a relentless pressing team like that. They have 4 players jumping on our goalkeeper itself. That own goal mistake is something I'm not going to refer to as. That is a brain fog moment from a player like Joao Garcia. That is something else that I'll come to. But they have 4 players, 4 attacking players who are on their full gas, full throttle, pressing on our defenders, pressing on our goalkeeper. And we don't have that press-resistant player who is our marquee player on our side at that moment. Frankie de Jong cannot do everything alone. Casado cannot hold the ball for long, or he's not press resistant as much as we like him to be. Daniel Mo is playing on the wing instead of playing in the middle. And whenever he is playing in the middle, he is losing the ball as well. Fermin Lopez was not in his best, let alone his best. This was his worst game, according to me. Ferran Torres was nowhere to be seen. He was not acting as a target man. He was not holding the ball well. He was not pressing well. His passes were sloppy. He was giving away the ball. No one was able to give the ball to Lamine Yamal himself. Lamine Yamal was not able to connect with any of the players. He wasn't finding Frankie de Jong. He wasn't finding Casado. Casado wasn't able to give him the return pass. Koundé wasn't able to hold on to the ball. And then coming to the leakage, the drain leakage of our team, Mr. Balde. How come a player, a defender of his caliber, manages to leak 4 counterattacks from his side alone? Out of that 4, 2 were converted in goals. Clear goals, that too. Also the fact that he was letting the attacker or the winger go on very easily. Giuliano Simeone, if I am not wrong, was going by him quite easily. Balde is a fast player, but how is he not able to track back with the same level as Giuliano Simeone? He wasn't able to track back, he wasn't able to defend the crosses, the balls were coming in easily, and apart from the 4 defenders, no one else was seen in the middle. The middle park was completely free for taking the shot, and that's what they did. 4 defenders tracking back, all in the same line, and no one tracking back to cover those spaces left just in front of the box. That's from where all the goals came in. The first goal was one of the goals that makes me think and makes me believe, in my opinion, that Joao Garcia can be considered as one of the greatest goalkeepers currently, but he will never be one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga itself. Why? Look at Thibaut Courtois. Everything in Real Madrid is in panic. Everyone is in panic, everything shatters around him, but he remains calm. He doesn't make those silly mistakes. He is commanding on the ball. When he jumps, when he grabs those aerial ball, you never see him panic, you never see him shutter, you never see him make those fumbles. Joao Garcia is a very good goalkeeper. He is good on the ball, he is good in delivering, he is good shot stopper as well, he is a good sweeper keeper. But there are times when he fumbles, there are times when his mind freezes, he goes into brain fog moment. What is wrong with the players of Barcelona? Why is all of a sudden there are so many brain fog moments continuously coming up one after another? We have Koundé making the brain fog moment, we have Balde today making the brain fog moment, Joao Garcia, the clear example of today's match, brain fog example of today's match. This is not the first time, we have seen it multiple times as well. While capturing the ball in the air, he sometimes fumbles, he is in a dilemma either to catch it or punch it, either distribute it right away or keep it for a long while. In the last match as well, he captures the ball while in play and goes on to congratulate Araujo for the defending he made while giving away corner. In that process, his ball was in the hand, a ball that he captured while in play, and then he took the ball and went past the corner line, giving away a corner to the opposite team. That is the kind of brain fog moment examples that we set for our team, and that is not only him. A lot of the players are infamous for this kind of brain fog moment. Barcelona itself has become so famous for such brain fog moments that fuck up our whole campaign, fuck up our whole matches fixtures. The one against Liverpool, the one against Bayern, the one today. What is happening? Why is our brain so cluttered? Why are the players of Barcelona lacking concentration? Then again, coming to the tactical decision, you have a player who is underconfident, who is not good with ball position. He is facing a lot of pressing as well. Players like Koundé, players like Casado, they were targeted a lot of pressing because Diego Simeone knew that their technical ability compared to their counter half Balde or Frankie de Jong are much inferior. So they targeted them because whenever Barcelona decided to carry forward the ball through the side of Koundé or Casado, they knew that the ball may come to Lamine Yamal. So to counter that, to stop that, they pressed on him high on. So the ball comes in sloppy areas and they were winning the second ball easily. They were dominant in air, they were dominant while winning the second ball. We were nowhere to be seen. We weren't physically present there at all. Ferran Torres was not able to do what a target man does or a holding striker does. He wasn't making the run behind the defender as well. He was giving sloppy passes away. Lamine Yamal wasn't able to connect with any of his players. Why did you decide to go with Casado instead of Bernal for this match? And then when we were 3-0 down, you decided to take him off and bring in another striker, a holding striker, a proper holding striker, target man in the form of Lewandowski. Okay, fine. But why still insisting on that high line that was easily cut through by their diagonal passes? They took the blueprint that Sevilla did against us, the 4-0 beating against Sevilla that we got. They took that blueprint and copy-pasted exactly the same thing. And the outcome was yet again the same result. 4-0, 4-0. Diagonal passes, wingers making late runs, midfielders making late runs. Somehow this is the first pressure that Barcelona provides, and then bang, a diagonal ball and your first winger covers it, and that first winger from Balde's side or Koundé's side, mostly from Balde's side, passes the ball in the middle, not even a cross. Neither of them were crosses, they were passes just in the middle. Antoine Griezmann receives the ball or Julian Alvarez receives the ball and then lets it go for the person next to him, Lookman, and he takes a shot, he scores. Julian Alvarez takes a shot, he scores. Griezmann takes a shot, he scores. Eric Garcia's back pass, he scores. And again, coming to this tactical decision really didn't make sense when you see yourself getting pounded once, twice, thrice. Why are you still insisting on that? Maybe, you don't have your marquee player like Rafinha, Pedri, Gavi. Basically, the first two, they were your marquee player. You don't have them. Okay, you don't have the optional choices like Rashford as well. Understandable. But they were your offensive problem. In this match, your offense wasn't the problem. Your lack of control in the middle, your lack of control in the back, your leakage on your left-hand side of the game, your defensive liabilities are the problem. Why are you still then insisting on that high line? I understand it's your principle, that's how you play, but sometimes adaptability is necessary. I admire the gameplay of Hansi Flick. I admire how he thinks, how his philosophy works, how his philosophy has been imprinted into every player of our squad. Very good. That is the reason why we went semi-final in Champions League last season. Due to lack of inexperience and some immature decision making by some of our players, we lost that match. Okay, but still we played well. We played like a team. We played like a team that didn't have a liability, mostly defensive liability. But this time around we are playing like a team that has a defensive liability. It has to heavily depend on its midfield and attack so that defensive liability doesn't get exposed. But against teams like this, it will get exposed. Then what are you going to do? What are your countermeasures? I'm not saying that you completely leave your principle aside and do something completely new. No, but at least adapt to what is happening to the match. There were changes in the second half that made Barcelona a little better while facing the counter attack. But that is also due to the fact that Atletico Madrid became much more conservative in the second half. They decided, you know what, we have 4-0 lead, now just defend it, leave this match with a clean sheet, and then we will defend ourselves in the Camp Nou, and that's it. We will be through, we'll be into the semi-final, we'll be through to the final. 4-0's lead is not something that can be easily penetrated against a team like Atletico Madrid, whose defense, who is defensively highly solid, whose whole squad is mechanized in a way that can defend like a bulldog that defends your house. They can defend like that. Then coming to the decisions of referee. First of all, my question to referee is certainly partial disability of his, where he sees from one eye and the other eye is blind for some reason, because in this match he was acting like everything that Atletico Madrid faced, everything that happened to Atletico Madrid, he was quite visible to it, but everything that happened to Barcelona, he was a blind eye towards it. Eric Garcia commits a foul. Yes, that was a foul. That was a red card, clear red card. There was no question about it. But the same kind of foul was committed by Juliano Simeone on Balde as well. Same high shin, the legs of Balde, that was destructible as well, very dangerous, and it was not even considered for VAR. Why? It's almost the same kind of mistake, but in the contrary sense, he was sliding in. It could have been even more dangerous than what Eric Garcia did. Eric Garcia's one was red. I'm not defending that, but why not consider what happened to Balde? Why not even look at VAR for that? And now coming to VAR. This is the most mockery of a system that I ever saw. You take a goal, then churn it and waste 8 valuable, precious momentum building minutes of a team. You don't give it a goal, okay, fine. For somewhat fucking ridiculous reason, you don't give it a goal, but you waste 8 precious minutes of the match. Then that same minute that where the team Barcelona was seen building a momentum, was seen finding a way through to Atletico Madrid, you completely wasted. Then the same momentum, it took around 20 more minutes to find that same momentum, but it was all in vain. And all for what? All for because you thought, because according to rule, when the shot was made, Lewandowski was offside. But how? We also, when the shot was made, Lewandowski was onside. He was played onside by the defender of Atletico Madrid. Then the ball ricochets off a defender of Atletico Madrid and lands in the feet of Lewandowski. When the ball gets deflected by the player of Atletico Madrid, he was offside at that position. Okay, but what matters is when the ball was shot. Every time offside is considered, it is considered at that moment when the ball is took the shot on, not at the moment when the ball gets deflected from another player. But according to them, what has happened is the ball was shot, it got deflected from a defender of Atletico Madrid, then landed on Lewandowski, and then Lewandowski was still offside, and then ball went on to Kubarsi, who was still offside at that position as well. I mean, what is the criteria of offside now? At first, it used to be when the ball is shot, you consider the player's positioning when the ball is shot. Now it is considered the ball is shot, it is deflected from their player, and from their player it has landed into the player of the opposite team. Now if he is offside on that position, then he is considered offside. What is happening? Your VAR system is incapable of determining who is onside or offside due to the players cluster at that position. You are doing it manually. You are eating up the precious minutes of the match. That much minute is not being added at the final time as well. 8 minutes. It wasn't even added that much. Why? performance of Eric Garcia as well. Many of you may criticize him, but he was never at fault. Back pass that he gave that turned into a goal was due to the brain fog of Joao Garcia, because he was looking at other players while not even watching where the ball is. The red card he got because of an underdeveloped pass from Ferran Torres, a player who has been out of touch for the last 4 matches. He has scored 4 goals in the last 4 matches out of 20 to 30 chances. 30 clear chances created for a striker, out of which he has converted 4. And in this match, he was nowhere to be seen, a ghost. Fermin Lopez, stinker. A stinker of a performance today. He was not pressing well, he was not positioning himself well, he wasn't connecting at all with neither with Lamine Yamal, neither with neither with Ferran Torres, neither with Lewandowski. Daniel Mo was again stinker. Both of them cheated today. Frankie de Jong was the only person who was trying to organize the defense, who was trying to organize the attack. He was connecting the both of them. He was carrying the ball. He was keeping the ball. He was keeping the position. He was trying to calm them down. Whenever Atletico Madrid was creating havoc in the back line, he was trying to calm them down. Whenever they became compact in the defensive third of their own half, he was controlling the tempo. He was doing everything alone. How much could a person do? Lamine Yamal tried his best, but a person like him, a player like him, cannot do everything alone on his own. He needs support because he is Lamine Yamal. He is bound to be targeted by multiple defenders. His reputation makes him target of a lot of defenders. He is going to be surrounded by defenders. It is not going to be easy for him against teams like that. I cannot solely blame Hansi Flick for this either, because he is a person who is doing what he can do with what he has. There is nothing he can do apart from what he has did now. All his cards are on the deck. There is nothing that he could have shuffled newly or improvised newly that could have brought a new result. He doesn't have any sign-in. He has all these players that are young, that are returning from injury or are injured. But against teams like this, against big teams, against teams that has high prolific runners, that has constant pressing machines, you need to adapt a little in your defensive line. You need to be a little pragmatic. All that all guns blazing method may not work all the time. You need to be a little pragmatic. You need to be understandable of the situation, what is going on in the game. You need to give yourself, your players, the time to understand what kind of game plan the opposite team is bringing to us. In the first half itself, you concede 4 goals, then it is going to be difficult for you to make a plan or think of something just to bring your game back in the second half. I think it's time Hansi Flick becomes a little pragmatic with his approach about attacking. Due to his lack of options in attacking, due to the fact some of his key players missing in the team right now, he needs to be a little pragmatic, a little tactically flexible enough so that he can counter this kind of team in big matches. Last year we had a lot of options and they were fit all throughout the season. This year we are facing the issues of injury. We don't have any big signing or a lot of signing to back us. So we need to be a little flexible. This is a setback, a wake-up call. But still, I believe in this team. I believe in the philosophy of Hansi Flick. I believe in what he stands for. I believe in his playing method. But a little flexibility, a little understanding, a little adaptation is necessary in this stage of our campaign. That was it for today's match. Comment below what you thought about the match as well. What are your takeaway from the whole match, from the tactics of Hansi Flick? What are your views on my opinion about the whole match as well? And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Boots and Balls.